Since my childhood, magazines were never just colorful pages to flip through quickly. They were entire worlds I lived in, and places where I left a piece of myself behind. I remember that very first moment in 7th grade, when I wrote my article about a trip in nature in autumn. It wasn't an ordinary trip. It was an adventure among the names of rain, the whispers of the earth after its first touch of water, and the wildflowers that grew like short poems along the edges of the land. That day, I was searching for the clover, the plant of luck. And somehow, without realizing it, I was searching for myself, too. There, between simple words and innocent imagery, the first thread of my creativity was born. Shy yet sincere, that thread grew with me, and so did my story with magazines. Majid magazine was my first window to the world. I used to write to them and wait eagerly for a reply, as if I were sending messages in bottles across a distant sea. And how my heart would leap with joy when I found my words published among their pages. They weren't just letters. They were a small recognition that my voice was heard, that I belonged to this world. Then came Saidati magazine, with its quiet elegance and refined pages. There I learned that beauty is not only in words, but in details, in color harmony, in the flow of fabric, in the world of French haute couture, where every piece is told, not merely worn. I began to see an article as a piece of fashion, something that must be carefully tailored, gracefully presented, and leave a lasting impression. At school, I didn't wait to be invited. The Wall magazine was my stage. I colored it, designed it, and produced it as if it were a complete work of art. It wasn't just a school assignment, it was my canvas, where I could say, look, this is me. Even in the school broadcast, I didn't stop at the voice. Speaking was only the beginning. The real soul was in the details I added, a meaningful poster, a touch of comics, an idea that made the listeners see what they hear. I was always searching for that space between word and image, where true impact is born. And today, when I look at Technology magazine by Sulafa, I don't see a project that suddenly began. I see it as a natural extension of all those moments. It is not just a magazine. It is the essence of a little girl who wrote about rain, a teenager who wrote to magazines, a student who decorated walls, and a voice that gave images to words. Simply, this is what I've been doing my whole life. I write, I design, I produce, and I tell stories. And if you ask me, when did my journey begin? I'll tell you it never did. It was simply growing with me, page after page,